Hey, what's going on? Patrick Phillips here, and in this video, I'm going to go over with you how I got 24 marketing agency clients in 1 month with $0 in ad spend, no paid traffic at all. Okay, so there's a multitude of things that actually go into this, and I'm going to do the best I can to break it down and make it the most concise as possible, and get into like the actual tactics and like how I was, where I was finding the people and all that stuff. And at the end, of course, I'm going to make an offer. And you don't really need to get the offer. You could probably figure it out yourself. And, it would probably just help you segue to it a little bit quicker. Okay, so let's get into it. So, number one thing is low risk, big ROI offer. Okay, something that's going to get them a minimum 2 to 3x return on their investment. So if they spend $2,000 a month with you, they make $4,000 off of one deal or two deals, right? Something that they're going to be able to, you can break down the numbers and you know that they're going to make their return on investment. Money back guarantee. So I had a money back guarantee. There were some stipulations in there that they had to go through a series of trainings. They needed to be on a weekly call with me. They needed to do all this stuff. And if they did that for 90 days and they received a certain amount of appointments, then they would actually be able to pay or get the money back guarantee and get, paid back for what they paid. It was a pay per show. So what we charged was like $19.97 up front, and then after that it was $250 per appointment, and they had to get 10 appointments per month. After the 3 months, if they didn't get what they wanted, then we would give them the $19.97 back. So if you do the math there, if we got $19.97, if they paid $19.97 and we did 10 appointments for $250 a pop, and we did that for over the course of 3 months, then that would be $7,500. So if we sent them back the $19.97, we would actually still be profiting, because the $7,500, there's probably $1,000 in there per month of ad spend, right? So we're still profiting regardless. And what I would do is transition from, because what we ended up doing was transitioning from the pay per show after about a month or two into the retainer, because everybody starts complaining to you and starts saying like, this appointment showed up, this appointment didn't show up, and it's just a mess. Okay, it's an attractive offer. It gets them involved. They like to see that they don't have to pay until they actually meet with somebody, right? So it's a pay per show kind of a thing, and it was a nightmare to deal with. So it was good to get them in there. We could deal with it for like a month or two, transition them over into retainer. That's what I would suggest. And also having some kind of a sales training or a culture building type of a thing, where you have like a leaderboard inside of a Facebook group, who's closing the most deals for whatever it is that you're offering, whether it's, you're working with, med spas or loan officers or roofers. It really doesn't matter. Just creating some kind of like a Facebook group, doing a training in there once a week, and having everybody start to get to know each other, and also creating a leaderboard and having them, throw out the wins that they're getting. And it also gets you some more proof, right? So that's a big thing, is the offer to start off. Okay. Then from there, getting them quick results, getting the calendars on their appointments on their calendar as fast as possible. And Facebook ads is going to be the best way to do that, as far as what I found, to get them leads coming in, getting appointments on the calendar as fast as possible, so they're getting quick wins and they're excited. And then also, while we're running the Facebook ads, we had like SEO sites being built in the background. So I'd recommend doing that. This way, eventually you can do rank and read sites and get leads coming in for super cheap, and get them the most high intent people as possible. And Facebook ads is the quickest way that I found to be able to get leads in and get some appointments onto their calendar as soon as possible. Also, proof of results. Okay, so we talked a lot so far about like the offer and how to actually like what to put into the offer and what to do to get them the quick wins, and how to actually fulfill. And in order to actually even offer that, you got to have proof of results. The brain needs the familiarity and comfortability in order to survive. It needs to see that, the amygdala, the part of the brain that looks at other things and says, is this, safe to engage with? needs to see that other people have done business with you and didn't die, basically, right, is what's going on in the brain. So they need to see proof of results. They need to see proof of you being busy, proof of other people that have done work with you, if you've gotten results for, it's worked for them. And, really, if we narrow it down to the reptilian part of the brain, or whatever you want to call it, really the amygdala, it's going to, say, is this safe to do business with this person? Can I, go out on a limb here and actually engage with them, and it's going to be safe for me to survive? It's kind of like the way that works. So you need to have a lot of proof of results. Do whatever you need to do in order to get those, whether it's quick testimonial videos, whether it's, whatever you need to do to work with people and get them to give you some kind of testimonial, get screenshots and stuff like that you can put onto a sales page. So when they go to check you out, they see that you've gotten people results. Okay. Organic messaging impressions. This is simply just sending out messages on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, on social platforms, driving people into a group. And inside of that Facebook group, is where I would do it. You could use any kind of a group, but that's what I used, was a Facebook group. Having proof of results, proof of being busy, proof of status, that you're engaging with other people in the industry. Best way to do this, by the way, interview people in the group that are in your expertise, that are in your niche, in your industry, and they're looked up to in the industry, and you're interviewing them on how they built and scaled their business. And now these other people inside of the group are seeing you as the expertise. Interviewing that person, it just really gives you a lot of credibility. Okay. Now, this was really like the secret sauce. This was like really what helped us a lot, the solution-aware messaging impressions. So, there's a part of the market that's shoppers, right? People that are looking around. Then there's another part of the market that is solution-aware. They know that there's a solution out there and they're looking and seeking to find that. Then there's also people that know that they have a problem, that aren't necessarily aware of that there's a solution, but they're aware that there's a problem. Then there's a certain amount of people that don't even know what's going on. They don't even know that there's a problem that exists. So this message that we would send out was really honing in on the solution-aware market. And it was grabbing their attention because there was an attractive offer. And inside of this message, we also addressed their concerns. So saying something along the lines of like that they're not going to need to pay any money up front. They only pay if they actually get XYZ result. Having that in, and this is all needs to be in a very concise, simple, short message. So addressing their concerns and making an attractive offer quick in that message is going to attract their attention. And then setting up automations to be able to send out mass amounts of them every single day. That can be done through email. That can be done through text message. That can be done through multiple different channels and multiple different ways. And that's the ways that we use, was text messages and emails and things like that. But you can set up automations to have these solution-aware messages be firing off at a rapid frequency where you're getting all kinds of responses. Then from there, you're engaging with the person, you're getting the responses, and then you're going back and forth in a certain way where you're kind of like doing some takeaways and making it like that you can only actually serve them if it looks like their area or their market is ready for an offer that you're offering for that person, for the marketing agency, like from the marketing agency for that particular business. So you need to go and do research, and then you come back after you've done the research. You can help them. You have proof of results, proof of being busy. They see that you're a viable person in the marketplace, right? And then they start to really engage with you, and then they want to learn more, and you set an appointment. Now, in order to actually hit this particular market, you need the market data, right? There's all kinds of tools out there that you can use to be able to get phone numbers and emails, but you need to be able to get the list of the particular, and really backing this up, you need to have a niche. You need to have it narrowed down to really one particular. If you haven't noticed, since I've talked this whole time, it's all about having a particular market, a particular niche that you're hitting with your solution-aware market message, and then also your organic message and the organic group, to be able to create a bunch of people engaging with you and sending traffic all to one place to get them to engage and get them onto a call. But you need to have the data first, right? Whether that's on social platforms, but then also, phone numbers and emails and things like that. Okay, then you get the engagement, you're back and forth with the person, you're straight to the point, and then you also throw in there proof of being busy or proof of results with, we actually don't have any other partners that work in that area, saying things like that where it's hinting as that you work with other people in their space and in their sector. And, you're leaving some stuff out where it's like if you're not setting appointments, you're not creating enough curiosity. So you need to have something in there that's going to create some curiosity and have them want to actually hop onto the phone with you. Then qualifying. You get them onto the phone, you diffuse it. Okay, there's a certain way that you can do this where you can really just take it out where it's like you are not there to sell them anything. You're trying to just see if you can even help them. And there's a certain way, I have a script that I go through and a process I go through to really diffuse the whole thing and have them start to engage no matter what niche that you're in. I mean, I worked with the toughest niche that you could possibly work with people that are like, give me the price. And I used our framework and it completely diffused it, took the whole thing out of like making it salesy. And it was really just a conversation to see like, dude, we don't even know if we can help you. Then asking some qualifications to make sure that they're even somebody, because when you're sending out this solution aware market message, you're getting a ton of responses and you need to be able to filter through those quickly and with velocity to be able to find the ones that are going to be actually qualified and get them onto the appointment to talk with yourself or a salesperson. Okay, so then we're setting the appointments with the qualified people, and then we have a proven sales process. Okay, I have this proven sales process where I have connection, I have circumstance questions to understand their circumstances, what they're dealing with, breakdown questions, specific questions on how they're actually, what's the actual breakdown, what's the problem, what's the impact of that problem, pulling out the emotions, questions to pull out the emotions around the problem. Then we're going through into the actual breakthrough and what they want to have happen. And then the new future, like really painting the picture of the new future of what it would be like to have our offer or our product inserted in so they can get XYZ result. And then really enrolling them into that. And then also just taking it away with the cost questions and saying, what happens if this actually doesn't happen for you? Then transitioning into the presentation, certain questions to ask throughout the presentation to keep them engaged and continue to keep having them enrolling themselves and enrolling the prospect together with the prospect. You're enrolling them in what's possible in this new possibility, this new future, right? And what it would be like for them and really pulling out that emotion there and then presenting that. And then also asking powerfully and uplifting your energy when you make the offer. So many people, they make the offer and the energy goes down. You can feel it, right? So increasing the energy, and there's a certain way that you can go about having people register powerfully where you're not going to get any refunds. You're not going to get any charge. We didn't have any chargebacks or any refunds or anything like that because of the way that I would register people and really have them enroll themselves as they're registering so that they know for a fact that this is what they want to continue to keep doing. This is definitely the solution to their problem, and they feel great about it, and they're ready to move forward, and they're excited about it. There's no hesitation. And I do a little bit of like reinforcing that this is the right thing for them. So you need a process like this, and I have this inside of my training. If you click the link below, you could see I have a link that goes to my training with the sales process and also all the appointment setting processes, scaling the appointment setting team, which we'll get into here in a minute. I was doing all the calls myself before I started hiring any setters or any salespeople, which do everything yourself first. Then you can start to hire everything out, right? But you needed some kind of a sales process like this, and you need to be able to take people through a process like this to have them register powerfully and really have them on as a good client. Okay, you need all this stuff really. Scaling an appointment setting team, finding and attracting top setters is by the person that you're being inside of your business and attracting more of those people. Okay, very simple, you probably heard that before in the industry, and there's a way to ingrain that into the team, a certain discipline and a standard that I hold to the team, and questions that I ask in the interviewing process and where I find the setters, and then what I ask them in the interviewing process to be able to test their confidence. I know for a fact when I get off of the interview with that person if I'm going to hire them or not. And really, there's no shortcut to this. It's just like sales. You need a lot of people to talk to, narrow that down into people that are qualified, filter through there before you start training. The biggest mistake people make is they start doing all this training before they filter. You need a filtering process. You need to be able to find the hungry people to be able to bring onto your team. Okay. Then we have the winning structure, how to run daily meetings, what to go through on every single day on the daily meetings, how to set projections, hold people to those projections, and constantly increase the standard. I ask people all the time throughout, our daily meetings and the calls and stuff like that, is that good or bad? Standard. We want to constantly increase the standard, and we even have like a way that we label the projections where we don't call them projections. We call them something else to make it occur to the setters and to the team that it's the minimum that we need in order to keep the lights on, the minimum that we need in order to survive. And they constantly can understand that we're doing that and we're constantly able to increase it, not because it's like pie in the sky, this is what we want to hit. It's because we know that we're increasing the amount of messages we're going out and the automations, that we're hitting the data, we're getting more data, sending out more messages, which is increasing the response rate, which is increasing the qualifications and getting people onto the calendar, which is increasing the sales. Okay, so this is not like, we're just going, well, let's go for 10, let's go for 20, let's go for 30. We're constantly increasing this and having it be something that we're having in the team. Sorry, I'm having a little bit of a technical difficulty here. Okay. So we're ingraining that into the team, and we're setting projections, and we're constantly increasing that standard and having them live up to that standard as if it was like, if we don't hit these numbers, we'll shut the company down. Okay. So that's the winning structure. You need to be able to have that inside of your organization day in and day out so they can feel that energy and they know like what it takes to be able to survive here at this company. You need to ingrain that into the culture so they're constantly excited to show up, perform, and you need to be able to compensate them in the right way, which I didn't even put in here, but you need to pay them big commissions. I mean, like these are virtual assistants and stuff like that I would hire. I pay them big, like a couple $100 a sale, right? I want to get them excited, right? They're getting paid like $150 a week probably, and I'm going to get them a couple $100 a sale. So they're constantly hungry to follow up, work the pipeline. We go through all that in the training. So I show you specifically how to do that, but you need to really heavily compensate these setters if you want to grow and scale the team to be able to actually get a client a day and really have that, going out, flowing, that energy flowing throughout the organization. Okay. So that's it for the training here today. I hope that was helpful for you. Again, I have all the trainings and stuff like that, everything put together for you. Like I said, you could probably figure this out on your own between like what really going over everything that I went through in this training. And if you click below, you'll see the link and you could see a training that I put through where I have the appointment setting training, scaling the team training, sales training, and the vault where you can get literally everything. So if you click the link below, you'll be able to get that and get access to that. Hopefully this training helped. If there's any questions that you have, just throw them in the comments of this video. I'll get back to you. And hopefully I'll see some of you guys on the other side. The only thing I would say is like, what happens? You make a bad purchase and you waste a couple $100 on something, or what's worse, doing that or getting to the end of your life or within the next couple of years and looking back and saying, I didn't actually hit my full potential because I wasn't willing to risk what it took to get there. Okay, that's what I would say is that like you could keep doing and having the same results that you have right now. But what happens if that keeps happening for the next 3 months, 6 months, a year, couple of years? What happens then? Right? So if you really want to be somebody that takes action, somebody that's a risk taker, somebody that, there's people out there that would never even spend the time to watch all this. So you're somebody that's an action taker. You're here, you're consuming this. You're somebody that's going to go ahead and get something that's going to take your game to the next level. So because you're that person, I know that you can click the link below, get all the information, make sure that you have the training, that you went through and watched this 20-minute video. You're somebody that's committed, and you can go ahead and get everything that you need to make sure that you actually hit the numbers that you want to hit, the goals that you want to hit, so you can actually live the life and have the business that you want. Work on your business instead of inside of it, and not having to keep doing that for the next 3 months or 6 months or a year. You actually make a change and you actually get what you want because you took action and you went ahead and did what you needed to do to get into the training, get all the tools that you need so you can increase your income. So click the link below if you haven't already. Go and check out all the trainings and everything like that and what I have put together for you guys. And hopefully this video worked and this free training helped you. Again, if you have any questions, put them in the comments of this video. And again, really hope this helped. And at the very least, hopefully you get something out of this. Okay. See you guys. See you. Thanks.